In this video, you will learn the basics of creating user interfaces using Google Apps Script. Before you start developing a user interface in Apps Script, you need to decide how your users will get to the application. Google Apps Script lets you show user interfaces using three different ways: Google Spreadsheets, Google Sites, and standalone service. Let's quickly go through some basics of using UI services first. UI services in Apps Script consists of two main types of UI objects: panels and widgets. There are different types of panels: form panel, horizontal panel, vertical panel, flow panel, and many more. Similarly, there are many different types of widgets: text boxes, labels, buttons, and many more. Panels help you organize your widgets. Using panels, you can decide how you want to stack or arrange your UI widgets. So how do you use these UI panels and widgets? Well, it's easy. You can create an application using UI service. This app is the main container which defines the boundary of your application. Then create a panel to hold your UI widgets. In our example, we are using a vertical panel where widgets are stacked vertically. An application can be made up of multiple such panels. With the new application, you can create additional UI widgets and then just add them into your vertical panel and you are done. Similarly, you can stack widgets horizontally or in a flow. Now let's create a new user interface using what we have just learned. Let's open a new spreadsheet. Let's create a new script from our spreadsheet. Click on Tools, click Scripts, and select the script editor. Now we are ready to start writing the script. In this example, we will write a script that creates a simple dialog box with a text box and a submit button. We'll call the function showDialog. Next, we'll create a new application which will contain all our user interface widgets and give it a title as well. Then create a panel to hold our UI widgets. As we mentioned earlier, a UI app can be made up of multiple such panels. Next, we'll create a text box. We'll need to give it a name and ID in order to capture the value that the user submits. We'll call it My Text Box. Finally, we create a submit button to allow user to submit this form. Next, we'll add the newly created widgets to our panel. And then we need to add the panel to the application. Now that we have assembled our widgets in panels, we need to show the application in the spreadsheet. It is easy. You can call the spreadsheet.show function to show the application. Save the script and execute. Now we can view the assembled UI, but there is one more thing we need to do. We'll need to write a function which Apps Script will execute when a user clicks the submit button. We'll name this new function respond to submit. This function executes in a context of an existing application. Let's retrieve that application. Notice that respond to submit function takes an input parameter e. Apps Script generates this object and passes along to respond to submit function. Using object e, we can get the value of user submitted input in the text box by using its name. If you remember, this name was set earlier using setName method. Respond to submit function will store the value of the text box in the spreadsheet. Let's get that spreadsheet. We need to get the row where we want to write the value of the text box. We'll write the value in column A, but we need to get the range first. So let's get that range. Then we set the value of the cell with the value of text box. Now we have a function that responds whenever a user clicks the submit button. Let's close the app and return it. Closing the app will make the dialog box disappear after the user clicks the submit button. Now that we have everything in place, how do we attach our respond to submit function to the actual submit button? That's easy. We do it using server click handlers. We create a server click handler and pass the name of the function that we want to execute when someone clicks submit. That's respond to submit. Then we let the button know which click handler to call when someone clicks a submit button. And we also let the click handler know which panel is sending the click event. This is useful when you want to get the value of other widgets like text boxes. Let's save the script and execute. You can see our application here. Now we will enter AppScript rocks into the text box and click submit. It works! As you can see, the value are being populated in column A. In this video, we showed you how easy it is to create a UI application using AppScript.